former Congressman Joe Schwartz, especially when you're riled up and disturbed that Kellogg is moving part of its operations, or he says thinking about
move
it.
from one century into the other one.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, we got it now.
Let's see. I always count on my fingers, and I carry the one, and I have. It's just awful. It's terrible. Either you're, just how it goes. But anyway, the numbers don't add up into the point that you want Kellogg to stay. Is there any chance you can turn it around? I mean, they're not going to move the headquarters, but it's part of the operations right out of Cereal City.
It's a big part of the operation. Just to make it very brief, what they've done is it's not just they're going to move people. Okay, now your job is up in Cascade Township. These people will be losing their jobs, and only some will be rehired. And the report is that they're going to be rehired at a lesser salary than they are making now. So you have a lot of long-term Kellogg employees who will lose their jobs, and only not all of them will have jobs in the Cascade Township operation if that actually happens. We don't like that. We think that's bad news.
Do you have any sense that it's reversible, or is the decision final?
I never believe anything is not reversible. That's long years of experience have told me that. We meet with the CEO of Kellogg today, a small group of community leaders in Battle Creek, and we're going to try to convince him. In addition, try to convince their board of directors and the board of the W.K. Kellogg Foundation, which is also in Battle Creek, and there's a lot of crossover on those two boards, that this is a bad idea, and it is a bad idea. Battle Creek has done everything Kellogg ever wanted it to do. We've worked with them hand in glove, and we feel, and I think rightly so, that this is an insult.
What will be your strategy in that meeting, carrot or stick?
It's whatever it takes.
You sort of read as you go?
Carrot, stick, and anything in between.
But typically, though, we've heard stories like this, of course. One of the most famous of all was right here in Lansing when General Motors was going to move out, and there was a huge effort by Mayor Hollister and Ray Tadgerson and some of the others to get them to stay. So you're going in there with a lot of pressure today. What would be your sort of modus operandi in a situation like that?
Our modus operandi is that Kellogg has a great facility in Battle Creek. They kept their word in 1982 after the merger of the township and the city to build a new world headquarters. It's there. It's a gorgeous facility if you've seen it. The K2, the office building right next door, was taken over by the Kellogg Company, completely redone. The latest thing the city did for Kellogg was spend millions of dollars in a revamping of the downtown, beautification, if you will, and we feel the Kellogg Company they're just missing things. They don't see the forest for the trees, and we also feel that their existing employees in Battle Creek are being treated very shoddily. So that's the argument we're going in with. I think we have the community behind us. We hope to get the board of directors of the company and the board of the foundation behind us as well, and we're going at them.
Won't they get defensive if you tell them that? Congressman?
What? Yes, go ahead.
Well, won't they get defensive if you tell them that you're treating your employees shoddily?
Won't they get defensive?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they'll get defensive because that's all you can do when you get called out. And you get called out. You get called out with great justification, as they are in this case. Yes, they'll be defensive. We expect them to be defensive, and we're not going to let up.
Boy, be interesting to be a fly on the wall in that meeting. Can we talk at the same time tomorrow and hear how it went?
Yeah, sure. I'm around,
all right,
and I'd be happy to talk to you.
Meet you right here for a bowl of Frosted Flakes tomorrow.
That'd be just fine.
Okay, thank you very much. Congressman Joe Schwartz going in there to try to keep all that Battle Creek business in Battle Creek, the Kellogg Corporation.